Hello besties and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be ranking the Mission Impossible movies from best to worst. I have fallen into the Mission Impossible series and I've become quickly obsessed with them. Tom Cruise can low-key get it. Like, he is so fine, but that besides the point. I love the high stakes. I have never screamed at a TV more than when I'm watching these movies, and I can't wait to put myself in hot water trying to rank these from best to worst. And you best believe I have watched all of them like 3 times over, so I have a lot to say and a lot of maybe unpopular opinions. So if you guys want to know what those are and how I rank these movies, then just keep watching. I have my handy dandy laptop here with me, and I just want to let you guys know that I did start this whole series at Ghost Protocol. So it essentially started me being obsessed with that movie and then deciding to watch the entire series from start to finish. Well, the latest movie, but I'm still gonna go on with what I feel about the first movie. For the first movie, I was like, this is great. I love the beginning. I love that it set the foundations for the movie, Ethan's identity and the IMF, which really helped, I guess, moving forward in just understanding a lot of the hidden details in the movies coming up. I love the fact that they weren't afraid to kill off all the characters, and I think the premises of this movie was again still unpredictable despite me kind of trying to guess the storyline. I could not determine who was the good guy or the bad guy, which I absolutely love. I love unpredictable movies, but not in the way that gives you anxiety, but in the way like, I didn't see it coming. In a way that catches you off guard without giving you anxiety. And this movie did just that. Tom Cruise looked as good as ever. So that's why I am kind of putting this movie in 4th place. I'd like to say 4th place. Like, it wasn't bad, but would I optionally watch it again? Not really, because I feel like the quality of film wasn't as good, and because it was the first one released, I guess the cameras and stuff didn't have that HD kind of definition. I know people like old school kind of movies for that kind of aesthetic and vibe, but I like the latest and greatest. Like, I want to feel like I'm in the movie. I want that crisp quality, and it just didn't give it to me, which is kind of a shitty thing to feel, but that's how I feel. So I'm gonna place this in 4th place. Next up we have Mission Impossible 2, which was honestly quite forgettable. I literally had to like think hard about this movie, and when it came to rewatching the movie series, I was like, I don't mind skipping this one. I feel like there wasn't as much chemistry between him and Naya, and unfortunately it felt like a copy and paste of the first movie in my opinion, and it was kind of predictable. Although the stunts are like okay. Was it rock climbing? That scene, chef's kiss. I always love his stunts, but nothing really stood out to me as much as like the movies that were coming up. So I honestly would put the second movie in 7th place. It's my least favorite, honestly. Wait, but then the third movie. How many movies are there? 3, 4, 5, 6. Why are there 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, there are 7 movies. Pfft, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm like, I can't count. My math ain't mathin'. Okay, so, okay, let's move on to number 3. I feel like number 3 had one of the best villains by far. I honestly did not predict who the real villain was. I love the chemistry between him and Julia. I was like, can I be her, please? Like, I don't mind being captured in the name of the IMF, you know. I just loved, I love Julia. I think, again, the on-screen chemistry was so kind of believable. Even though the film quality wasn't, again, that great, there was a lot of like sepia tones used, and I know it seemed very old school. The stunts, well, again, okay, they weren't that great. There were a lot of action and shooting scenes, which I loved, again, but I feel like the overall storyline and the villain really makes me want to put more up there in the ranking. but not too up there because it's not one of my favorites. Like, I wouldn't voluntarily, maybe I would. Not really. Actually, I'm gonna swap number 1 and put it in 6th place. I know you guys are gonna come for me, but it's the quality of film that does it everything. Okay, so in 5th place we have Mission Impossible 3, 6th Mission Impossible 1, 7th so far Mission Impossible 2. And I stand by that, honestly, truly. Let's talk about the 4th movie, Ghost Protocol. I'm guessing you guys already know where I'm gonna put this, but I'm gonna let you guess for like 2 seconds. Yeah, it's gonna be in 1st place. Why? Because first of all, the stunts were freaking amazing. The jump in quality from the 3rd movie to the 4th movie, outstanding. I was literally screaming at the TV, and I think I've watched this movie more on repeat than I have any of the other ones, and I would voluntarily watch it again. I just love the storyline. I love the fact that Jeremy Renner was in it. I love the chemistry of the overall group. I found that in the other movies it was just lacking. It wasn't there. Apart from him and Luther, the other chemistry between the characters were just like subpar in terms of like how they got along. It felt very forced, like they were meant to be together, not because they want to be together. And I think that banter also between Jeremy Renner and, I'm forgetting his name. You know who I'm talking about? My brain. What is happening today? But the banter between the team, it just had everything in it. It's like your heart was racing for Ethan. It was like a race against time. I love that. Again, it was unpredictable. Did not predict what would happen at the end. I love the cheesiness of it when he said mission accomplished. I think that was really cute. But again, I did not know where the movie was gonna go. It seemed like they kind of got a hold on things, but every time they were like close to achieving their mission, it was just slipping through their hands in a way that wasn't annoying as well. So I think the overall storyline and the quality of film, the stunts, A+++. Am I gonna say it? I think I'm gonna put this in 1st place. I think you guys already saw this coming, but 1st place, definitely. And I saw this in the movies when it first came out, so it made the experience so much better. So it gave you that first watch feel. Like, even if you rewatched it, I love the feeling. Like, it feels like you're watching the movie for the first time, which pretty much all the Marvel movies do that for me. So when another movie in another kind of series can do that, I'm like, damn, that really was good. Next up we have Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which Elsa I love, but if you watch a recent movie, I'm not gonna say anything, but I think that says it all. I love the ending of Ghost Protocol and how, again, these storylines kind of flow into another, but they also are a standalone movie. So at the end of Ghost Protocol, they are talking about the Syndicate in the outro, and now they're introducing us to the Syndicate, which I absolutely love the storyline. I love that they base the unpredictability less in the storyline and more into the character of Elsa. She plays kind of a double agent. You don't know which side she's on. The stunts were, again, amazing. They weren't as good as Ghost Protocol, I must say, but the beginning of the movie, again, I love the familiar. I love also the familiar. I can't speak. Again, I also love the familiar team coming together, and it kind of seems like a family at this point. And again, the fact that Jeremy Renner is there kind of just gives me that Marvel Hawkeye feel, like he's like Hawkeye but undercover. I don't know. That's just me. I'm cheesy like that. Anyway, there was more of a depth to this movie rather than just the mission itself. There were things happening outside of the mission at hand. I felt like it was more about the quality of friendship rather than love, which I absolutely love the concept of, where they focus on friendship and bonding in that sort rather than like just romance, which is good too, but it's a nice change and it's more realistic in that way. I love the end scene and the final battle because he wasn't kind of like a strong villain, but in the way they like captured him is something that I would never have seen coming or predicted. So overall, this movie would be second. Would be second for me, honestly. Then we have Mission Impossible Fallout. And I have a lot to say about this movie. Overall, Fallout kind of fell flat to me, to be honest. I feel like the rest of the world, I'm not a Henry Cavill fan. He has a very punchable face to me. I never liked him in Superman. I never liked him. I just don't like him in any of the movies. He gives guys who go to the gym but have no personality kind of a face and a vibe. I just feel like, to me, he's not attractive. Is that weird? Like, he's just not attractive. He's just annoying and very blasé. Like, he just doesn't want to be there kind of thing. Also, I kind of predicted the storyline and it wasn't unpredictable. I love the way they introduced new characters and also carried on this storyline of the Syndicate, and also really miss Jeremy Renner. I feel like if you have formed that core of a team and family in such a strong series, it should kind of continue unless there's like a death. So I'm hoping he might come back for Dead Reckoning Part 2, but I'm not counting on it because his health is more important after that whole incident, which was honestly terrifying. A true Avenger, I must say. But overall, the movie, like, Angela Bassett was, as much as I love her, her roles were really unnecessary. I didn't see the point. I kind of knew he was, I'm not going to spoil it that much, but I kind of saw the ending coming. However, I love the stunts, so I can't really fault it. And I was screaming at the TV. I was screaming at the TV, and that's how I kind of rate my experience. Like, if I'm just like sitting like blasé, unbothered, like, you know, I could be doing 50,000 million things with my ADHD, then I would honestly rate it really low. And that's kind of my experience with the first 3 movies. But this movie, if it wasn't for Henry Cavill and maybe another character, I'm just kind of like putting him out of it, I would say this movie would be in 4th place. And last but not least, I think this leaves us with the latest movie, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. I overall loved the movie. Went to see it in the cinemas twice, which says a lot. I love this movie, and I feel like it coming out on like Netflix or something wouldn't have hit as hard. And I love the fact that Tom Cruise make his movies for a cinematic experience. I feel like that's missing a lot these days in all these Netflix movies. I feel like, yeah, they just lack that je ne sais quoi. And I hate what they did to some characters. I don't want to say it, but I don't want to spoil it, but like Elsa, I hate what they did to her. I will never stand by that. She was my heart. I love her character. I love her loyalty. I personally didn't like Grace. I just felt like she was very hesitant, and there's just something off about her. I might be wrong. I might be totally right about her stance in the whole IMF, but I just feel like, I don't know, I love that Elsa was so quick to trust Ethan, but she just isn't. And I just feel like, I get maybe she must be scarred from her past or something, but I mean, this guy has literally saved her life multiple times and she just kept on like slipping through his hands, which kind of annoyed me because I would have liked some loyalty there, or maybe some back and forth. Like, there had to be a reason why, I don't know. But I also love the fact that they used AI, because I could see AI coming into the big picture, because isn't that what we're facing nowadays, a Bible with AI? So I feel like that's so relevant. I love the fact also that you did not have to watch any previous Mission Impossible movies to have that experience. The stunts were stellar. I absolutely loved the movie, but not as much as the first 2. I think that this is very well placed in my ranking, to be honest. I again miss Jeremy Renner and miss Alec Baldwin from the previous movie. I just felt like that would have added a little bit of familiarity with the people who have been watching this series for so many years, or maybe in the past year. I'm absolutely psyched to see the final movie. I don't want this series to end, but I know it has to. And I think this series will have an amazing closing. I don't even know what they're going to pull with the stunts in the final. I kind of have an idea, but I mean, the thought of Tom Cruise doing those stunts is terrifying, but also so exciting. And yeah, that's my ranking. First, Ghost Protocol. Second, Rogue Nation. Third, Dead Reckoning. 4th Fallout, 5th Mission Impossible 3, 6th Mission Impossible, and 7th Mission Impossible 2. Would you rank these the same? That's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I feel like I'm always awkward in my outro. I would love it if you guys would give this video a like and subscribe if you like fashion, lifestyle, and the occasional ranking video like this. And I will catch you, my besties, in the next video. Bye!